Hello and welcome to Manga Tora 96, and today we continue with the Straw Hat Crew discussion. Today's focus will be on everyone's favorite archaeologist and quiet beauty, Nico Robin. This video will be in the same style like my other Straw Hat discussion videos were. I will go over Robin's personality, her role in the story and her combat abilities. Before we begin, here is a brief overview on who Robin is. Nico Robin, also known by her epithet Devil Child, is the archaeologist of the Straw Hat Pirates. She is the 7th member of the crew and the 6th to join, doing so at the end of the Alabasta arc. She temporarily left the crew during the Water 7 arc, but rejoined during the Enies Lobby arc. Robin ate the Hana Hana no Mi at a young age, giving her power to reproduce her body parts, or her entire body, on any surface at will. As the sole survivor of the destroyed West Blue Island Ohara, she is currently the only person in the world known to have the ability to read and decipher poneglyphs, a skill which is considered forbidden and threatening to the world government. She acted as the vice president of Baroque Works as Miss Alt Sunday, serving and partnering herself directly with the organization's president, the ex-warlord Crocodile, who operated under the codename Mr. Zero. She was a secondary antagonist in the Alabasta saga. Before joining the Straw Hats, her dream is to find the Rio poneglyph, which tells the true history of the world, specifically the White Century. She currently has a bounty of 130 million berry. Out of all the members of the Straw Hat Pirates, Robin is the most serene and has rarely been shown to act comically. She is much smarter than Nami and treats Luffy with more respect than the rest of the crew, even when he acts impulsively, to which she often laughs at it. Together with Zoro, she is one of the members that support Luffy's decision unconditionally. When the crew is sailing, Robin is usually reading and investigating data from the places they visit. She is very wise and very patient in everything. Robin does not play a specific role on the ship, but she can foresee what can be found somewhere, and that, in her own words, is of advantage to others. Luffy considers her a very intelligent member. Through her heritage on the Island of Scholars, Robin is an archaeologist and historian who seeks the comfort and freedom to study the mysteries of the world. She is quieter, more reserved crew member, rarely having outbursts of emotions, occasionally exceptions being sweat drops, and when she cried out to Luffy and the Straw Hats from the Tower of Justice during the Enies Lobby arc. She even appears calm while speaking ominously around her crewmates. She has an adult charm about her, as stated by Sanji. Being described as the mother by Oda, she in kind has shown maternal care for others like Chopper, Momo and Toko. Robin has somewhat a macabre side to her, and often points out gross or morbid facts, usually to the disgust of Nami or Usopp. Robin will usually be the first to speculate that the crewmates has met or will meet with a horrible fate, often going into grisly details. In other instances, she will express enthusiasm for anything with a horror theme. Examples of these are: when Robin first joined the crew, Usopp asks her what her specialty is, to which she replies, assassination. When Luffy, Zoro and Sanji were exploring a galleon that had fallen from Skypiea and were eaten by a giant sea turtle, Robin immediately stated that they may have been eaten along with the ship. When Nami asks if Zoro was eaten by the sky shark, she says that the clouds will be turning red if he was. When Nami is forced to swing on a rope past the sky sharks, Robin says the height is about 50 meters and she would die if she fell. Zoro and Nami return to the Going Merry in Skypiea, but they cannot find Chopper, who was guarding the ship. Robin remarks that he may have been shredded to pieces. When Chopper is taken by the Foxy Pirates during a Davy Back fight, Nami asks if Foxy is a collector of rare pets. Robin says, hopefully not a collector of rare pelts. When the crew decided on the name Thousand Sunny for their new ship, Robin says that she was going to suggest the being of darkness. On Thriller Bark, she voluntarily investigated Thriller Bark with Luffy and Frankie. She told Nami that she likes thrills. As Nami screams while testing the Mini Mary 2 on Thriller Bark, Robin remarks that she may have been cursed by a ghost. When they are attacked by the Cerberus on Thriller Bark, Robin says that she finds it cute. While the Straw Hats are looking for Nami, Chopper and Usopp at Thriller Bark, Robin says that they are not even able to hear their voices anymore, wondering if they were strangled. While searching for a way to reach Fishman Island, in the Shark Submerge, Robin, Luffy and Brook encounter a giant sea monster that attacks them, which results in Robin amusingly commentating on his big mouth that could easily swallow them instead of worrying about the situation. While the other crew members commentated on Sanji's bizarre luck in reaction to Duval's face, Robin quipped that he would certainly have an interesting death one day. When Luffy's group went out to beat the Kraken and lost their way back to the ship, she mildly commentated that hopefully they would not be ripped to shreds by some monster. As Noah approached the battlefield between the Straw Hat Pirates and the New Fishmen Pirates, she wondered whether the ocean would be dyed red if everyone was smashed by it. When Robin heard the news that Nami, Frankie, Sanji and Chopper were kidnapped by some mysterious men with rifles, she seemed concerned if they were already shot and had multiple holes in their body. While riding on Brownbeard with Luffy, Zoro, Usopp and Brook, she commented that it'd be nice if Nami and the others' arms and legs have not came off from frostbites. When Usopp asked what had fallen as the group was making its way up the left hind leg of Zunisha to get to the top, Robin said that it looked like a person that was bleeding with knives sticking out of him. When Usopp saw Wanda wear Nami's clothes and asked for her whereabouts, Robin wondered if the Mink tribe has a taste for human flesh. When Wanda insinuated that the other Straw Hats and company had been slaughtered and their bodies were in a forest in Zou, Robin concluded that because their remains were intact, it meant they weren't used for sustenance. When Jinbei destroyed an enemy ship at Wano, Robin stated they could be targeted by the ghost of babies who died at sea. While she was posing as a member of the Beast Pirates, Robin acted like she wanted to rip out Momo's eyes. Before the events of Enies Lobby, she often spoke only when spoken to or if something noteworthy happened. Her calmness is likely a result of the childhood that led to her life of hardship. The calamity that befell Ohara had a profound and traumatizing effect on Robin as a child, that she has only just begun to recover from. However, as she began to spend more time around the crew, her personality begins to ease up. When Robin is rescued by the Straw Hats from Enies Lobby, it is then that she considers herself both their friend and an official member of the crew. After the time skip, Robin's personality is much more relaxed and playful in nature. Quite possibly due to her exposure to the other Straw Hats, she has also been shown to possess an outstanding amount of knowledge, especially in history. In spite of her mature appearance and calm demeanor, she seems to have a childlike imagination. Although she is often shown imagining bizarre, silly or cute images, she will rarely give voice to those thoughts, maintaining the straightest of poker faces. When Kuma mentioned that he was the user of the Nikyu no Mi, Usopp thought that the calm sound that the fruit name gave when being said meant that there was a soothing type for the yellow fruit, which made Robin imagine 3 cute cats showing their paws and meowing, while still having a serious expression on her face. Another example of this is when she, Luffy, Zoro and Usopp were going across a river to get to the ice region of Punk Hazard. Zoro gave the idea of swimming across since being on the fire region of said island got them sweaty. Luffy agreed to the idea, thinking that Zoro and Usopp would carry him and Robin across since they cannot swim. This made Robin imagine Zoro and Usopp swimming happily while carrying Luffy and her, while also being happy and smiling, and still showing her normal smiling face on the outside, even though Usopp said that there was no way they would swim across while carrying them. She also imagined Dressrosa as a dress-wearing old woman when Luffy mispronounced the name. Her silence seems to stem from her sense of decorum and personal pride on many occasions. She flatly refused to engage in any behavior that would be considered embarrassing. She refused to participate in Frankie's tactic number 15 docking procedure during the battle against Ors. The reason was she found it embarrassing as a human being. She even made a supposed embarrassed face, though it was more noticeable. She then rather flatly added that I should never try it again. One of Robin's defining traits is her utter lack of fear regarding a situation, as usually maintains a positive and even cheerful demeanor. She has only shown fear in very few occasions, and always involving an extremely dangerous threat directly falling on her, like during the Buster Call at Enies Lobby, when the Shichibukai's crocodile and Kuma tried to kill her. Kuma in reality just attempting to save her, and when the admirals Aokiji and Kizaru appeared in front of her. Also, unlike Nami, Robin rarely gets angry with any of the crew's antics or when they do something that puts them in danger, and instead giggles at their antics. This was shown when Luffy told the crew he challenged Big Mom, one of the 4 emperors, which left the whole crew horrified of Luffy threatening an emperor. To this Robin just smiled and laughed. An example of her voicing displeasure with one of her crewmates can be seen while the group is hiding out on Punk Hazard, in which she reprimands Frankie twice after he speaks and makes lewd faces while trapped in Chopper's body. However, upon Loss returning him and Chopper to their original bodies, Robin cheerfully expresses her joy in having the two switched back. In contrast to her distant and reserved demeanor, Robin is actually caring and compassionate. This is shown when she saved Luffy twice from Crocodile's quicksand and gave him the antidote for the poison despite initially being enemies. Even so, after bringing Luffy back up, she left him in the care of Pell and told him that Luffy was responsible for returning Vivi to her country. During her childhood, Robin was bullied and an outcast by the residents of Ohara because of her devil fruit, though she bared no ill will towards them. She did mess with the kids who picked on her in a mischievous way. The experience she had, the destruction of her home, as well as being betrayed by the people who saw her as a demon and attempted to turn her over for money, left Robin to have a jaded view on people. While so, this made Robin become deceptive, as well using others to escape her past, including Baroque works and even Crocodile. It was after spending her time with the Straw Hats, when she took Saul's word at heart, that she started to regain her kind nature. It can be said that Robin would never harm someone who hasn't done anything to her, as she did save Luffy before they became crewmates. She can be very loyal and selfless, as she was willing to give herself up to protect her crew. Because of her tragic past of the Buster Call, Robin would warn people about the incoming ships, even to her enemies. After Spandam accidentally invokes the Buster Call while lamenting the Marines' incompetence over the radio, Robin went out of her way to warn everyone on Enies Lobby, including the Marines and Cypherpol agents, to evacuate. When Kyros was fighting Diamante, Robin vowed to protect Rebecca, so Kyros could focus on fighting him. Also, she tried to protect an injured Law with her own body from an attack from Doflamingo. She even helps the residents of Zou to treat Zunisha's wounds. She will never understand why people regard history as meaningless. To her, there is nothing worse than destroying objects of historical significance. She became furious at Yama because he destroyed valuable Shandorian artifacts and swiftly defeated him after. She approaches life and the world at large in a calm manner. She studies the world of its history. She shows little interest in the ancient weapons that others such as Crocodile and Spandam seek. However, she might be the only one who is able to awaken them. During battle, Robin tends to maintain a relaxed demeanor that only seems to change whenever the circumstances prove to be beyond her capacity to cope. More often than not, she would exhibit unshakable calmness and reserved behavior against an inferior adversary, to the point where she typically displays by using her powers to satisfy minor necessities, like using a pair of arms sprouting from the ground to form a makeshift seat. As a result of her violent past, she is very merciful in combat and does not shy away from using deadly force. She will break the necks or spines of her enemies without hesitation, even when they cry for forgiveness, as demonstrated when she fought Yama near the ruins of Shandora. Despite her tendency to remain calm and collected, she can be quite intimidating and forceful when she wishes. This is exhibited when she essentially forces Brook to stop fooling around and continues his explanation. Despite Robin's ability to cope with the bizarre, she was unable to take the idea of dwarves, and was even shocked by the nature of easily trusting people, something she usually laughs off whenever Luffy does it. Robin was originally the only member of the crew to possess no face faults. However, after arriving at Dressrosa, her significant change in personality begins to present itself. Robin has since expressed multiple face faults, demonstrating that she is no longer the stoic, uncompromising individual she used to be. Robin was also overcome with emotion at the sight of Kanjuro's Nobori Ryu technique, which produced a pitiful looking dragon that she found to be overwhelmingly cute to the point of blushing, whom the crew soon dubbed Ryunosuke. She was driven to tears at its noble effort to climb Zou hind leg to the top, struggling because of its feeble features, and then honor its memory when it turned back into a drawing and ceased to be alive by placing flowers on its grave, where it had reverted to drawing form. Robin is an exceptional archaeologist with a vast knowledge of history and cultures. She was able to, for example, correctly deduce the identity of the sun breeze by merely examining the 2-century-old remains of one of its dead crewmen. As a child prodigy, she passed her archaeology exam at the age of 8 to become a certified scholar. She is also the only person alive who can read the language written on the poneglyphs tablets, which contains records of ancient history. This was the true reason why her first bounty was so high, despite being issued when she was only 8 years old. It is revealed that Robin taught herself most of those skills through researching in the library of O'Hara, which she had done without the aid of her senior colleagues. This shows great aptitude in academics and research. Outside of historic knowledge, Robin also possesses considerable knowledge of most of the major figures in the world and has at least heard of such individuals and groups as Red-Haired Shanks, Dragon, Gecko Moria, and the Windsmoke family. She is even aware of the top secret organizations, including the world government's various cypherpol units such as 9 and 0. For this reason, she is the main person Luffy turns to when he wants an explanation of new information. Robin's life on the run since the tender age of 8 has taught her the ways of survival and self-preservation, and she earned herself notoriety for being able to evade inescapable situations. Even Admiral Aokiji commented that she could have escaped from CP9 had she felt like it. She only abided by the rules and conditions in order to keep them from unleashing the bastarcle upon her crewmates. Robin is not afraid to use violence as a solution to a problem or for defense, and often incapacitates her enemy by breaking their necks or backs, even when they cry out for mercy, even going as far as to squeeze Frankie's scrotum, though only one time, in order to make him join the crew. She also has the habit of spying on others, like listening on conversation, reading their body language and facial expressions. This is shown when she spies on Sanji's conversation with the Risky brothers at Trill Bark and reading the Straw Hat's expression when she first wanted to join the crew. At Water 7 she admits to Chopper that those habits are from her childhood. Her Devil Fruit ability allows her to spy extremely efficiently by sprouting her eyes or ears from walls at distant locations. Part of her mission while working undercover in Wano as a geisha was to spy on the movements of Orochi's army, a role she met quite satisfactorily with little to no risk for herself by cleverly exploiting her full cloning powers to create decoys and proxies of herself. Despite not being in Orochi's palace for very long, she was able to acquire a large amount of information. Though she has not yet displayed the ability to use Haki, Robin is fully aware of the power, as she commented on Luffy knocking out half of Hode's men. She also has great knowledge about Haki, such as explaining the principles of armament Haki to Frankie when Luffy fought Caesar Clown. Robin can disguise as another person. She was trusted by her crew to infiltrate Orochi's palace as a geisha. She was able to blend into the crowd, especially when she is in a place where no one knows about her true identity. Robin ate the Hana Hana no Mi, a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows her to sprout duplicates of any of her body parts from any surface within range. She can sprout her duplicate body parts from her own body, inanimate surface, and even from other people's bodies. She even can sprout duplicate body parts on top of other duplicates' body parts. She maintains full control of her duplicate limbs and can perceive sights and sounds remotely through duplicate eyes and ears. The number of duplicates she can create appears to be unlimited, so long as they are within range. Usually when she uses her powers, she crosses her arms and makes an X-shaped cross her chest, though it's shown that she does not necessarily need to do so to use her abilities. By sprouting multiple arms from her opponents' bodies, she can use her powers to disarm her opponents as well as put them into painful submission holds and even snap their bones almost effortlessly. She can also use this application of her power to twist and flip her opponents. Her power is excellent for fighting a large number of enemies at once. Aside from direct combat, she can also use her powers for a number of support functions, such as forming a net to catch falling comrades, or form a large number of arms and shaped wings, giving her the ability to fly for a few seconds. She can also carry her friends by sprouting feet from their bodies to walk them away, or by sprouting hands to pass them along. Robin can even create entire clones of herself and even sprout gigantic sized limbs. Her replicated parts are considered an extension of her own body, and if they are hurt, she feels the pain on her actual body. Similarly, the Elfruit abilities that require contact with a person's body will take effect when used on her extended limbs, as evidenced by Sugar turning Robin into a toy, by touching Robin's replicated arms. There's a lot more I could talk about Robin, but this is already a long enough video as it is, so it is the perfect time to end it here. Next week I plan to cover the super shipwright cyborg of the Straw Hat Pirates. Look forward to it. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content as well as other manga content, and until next time, take care.